This is how I made a buttercream pastel drip cake. I made the models the week before. You might be able to tell what these are based on. I did them in all pastel colours and I just did it for a range of different ones. These are based on the popular Squishmallow toys. This was a huge cake. This is the biggest size I do. It was a 9-inch 3-layer and I used my 15 egg amount. You can purchase these batter quantity charts and recipes through the stand store on my page. I buttercreamed all over the top of the cake and then flipped it upside down onto a circle of baking paper that was on an acrylic disc. This is a ganache plate, and I just filled it with jam and buttercream and then put it in the fridge to firm up for around half an hour. After that, I went round with some pale pink buttercream to do a crumb coat, just covered it over and then used my metal scraper to scrape it back. Fridge again, and then once it had firmed up, I piped the buttercream on. I find this a lot easier to do when I'm doing stripes or rainbows or different colours. It's just more accurate. Even though the stripes, I didn't want them to be like really crisp and neat, it was fine that they kind of merged into each other. I just find it a lot easier to do when I'm doing stripes of different colour to pipe it on in big blobs like this. So once I'd done that, I went round again with my metal scraper, making sure to run boiling water over it each time just to give that nice smooth finish. And I went clockwise and anti-clockwise. And then I did fill in some gaps at the end and just go around again, just making sure that, again, it had a nice smooth finish ready for the decorations. I put it back in the fridge to firm up after that. And then I was very nervous about this bit because it was so heavy, but I put some sugar and crumbs melt and pour on the top and flipped it the right way. You can see there it's quite difficult to handle because it's so heavy, but I did manage to get it onto the board and moved it into position. I removed the acrylic disc and the baking paper and then just went round and filled in the bottom of the cake. This drip is sugar and crumbs melt and pour in white chocolate flavour mixed with some vegetable oil just until it's at the right dripping consistency. I always start at the back, so I'm happy with it. And I just dripped all the way down with my teaspoon and then poured it over the top as well. I added some lolly sticks to some of the decorations and popped those on. This Melt and Pour by Sugar and Crumbs is a great glue. It dries really quickly and really hard, so if you're attaching any decorations to a cake, I really recommend getting this because it's really reliable and it sets really firm. I added the writing to the bottom and I made some fondant spheres as well in matching colours, so I added those to the sides. And here is the finished cake. I absolutely love this. I love the colours together and I love the white drip. I think it looks pretty.